Fellow Kenyans, I've listened to the allegations by the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, claiming that President Ruto has been very vicious with him. President Ruto has done him all these manner of injustices and so on. I'd like to remind former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua that William Ruto is not perfect, and some of these things which you see is coming back to you is a result of what you actually did to, what you actually invested. You invested, rage. You invested a bad heart. I'm an elected politician, and speaking to some of the colleagues who are in UDA, most of them claim that they forgot what the deputy president's residence look like, because since you got elected, you have never seen any beauty in cooperating with them. The other thing is that how many of the current Kenya Kwanza politicians, even from the Mount Kenya region, can claim total loyalty to you? A good number of them can claim loyalty to the current president, because he helps them get rich. He helped them, get businesses. He helped them find ways of improving their politics. He helped them get elected. He built them, friendship. Some of them had, poorer education. Some of them were not married. You saw how he was holding their hands and ensuring that, they got spouses, they got elected. That's one thing which, whatever bad thing you can say about William Ruto, one thing which you have to give it to him is the ability to reward friendship and reward loyalty. You'll find that the people who have stayed with him for a very long time have built themselves to an extent where, they have improved their conditions from wherever he found them. They are better off. Deputy President Ruto then even influenced somebody like Echesa, a class 4, a primary school dropout, to be in the cabinet. Some people like Aisha Jumwa would not sit in any cabinet, including that of Somalia. But in Kenya, you found that because of the value of friendship to William Ruto, the value of, of rewarding loyalty, you found that they were able to sit in the cabinet. The other claim that, I've seen a lot of claims by Kenyan politicians and the critics of the current president that William Ruto is a bad person, or is a... I don't know, and I cannot claim like somebody who has known William Ruto for very long. But one thing I'll tell you from my own analysis, what are Kenyans talking about now? Everybody's talking about Adani, PPP, Shi na Sha. They are talking, an average Kenyan is trying to talk about complex stuff, complex stuff which an average Kenyan will never understand. Somebody is trying to get the kawaida man in the public, in the streets, to talk about a PPP. When will a PPP deal get to the level where a kawaida man will get to understand them? I think nobody's talking about unga. Nobody's talking about bei ya ngano, bei ya mchele, bei ya mahindi. William Ruto got to be the president when unga was at 230 per packet of 2 kg. Now it's 97. And it's going lower. The shilling was, getting off the rails. It stabilized. It told us about substituting, input and not output in agriculture. Juicy, I was trying to buy some good years of maize because we were not able to plow in the previous years, year of plowing in my area, Nyando. And one thing which has happened is that at this point in time, with poor harvest which we experienced in the last season, last planting season, we would be buying a gunia of maize at 7,000 shillings. Funnily, juicy, I went to buy for You know, that one is 7,000 shillings, and in fact, sometimes you look for it all over Nandi Hills. You look for it around Sondu and so on, and you're not able to get it. So, but this time, I found that it was only selling for 3,300, 3,500 at the maximum. I think that we are criticizing Ruto so much, but we are not appreciating the things which even Kibaki, with all these fake accolades he has always been given, could not be able, was not able to stabilize the Unga prices. With all these fake accolades Uhuru is given for, I don't know what his achievement is, apart from, you know, the handshake achievement. With all these accolades he's being given, I have never seen a situation where Uhuru was able to stabilize the Unga prices. You realize that Ruto has been president for 2 years. And in these 2 years, the first year, 2023, and financial year 2022-2023, it was Azimio demos where we lost 75 people. You know, people think that Gen Z demos where we lost only 65 is the most important demo. But one life lost is one too many. What people need to realize is that we lost 75 people then. And that one was the first budget last year, 2023. The second budget, you have made it impossible for him to have a second budget. I believe that with the second and the third budget, William Ruto was going to perform better. I don't know, you know, the funny thing, the problem I have with William Ruto is that he seems to be a very good politician. He seems to be a very good economic, you know, manager and so on. Say what you may, but give me the indicators. All shows that, you know, he's doing, the inflation is going down. You know, I don't know what your indicators will tell you, but I think that he's a better manager than the previous two presidents who served for 20 years, whom we have actually been able to properly analyze as an adult, you know, because Moi was a mess. Moi was a dictatorship, like the specialized commercial activists always say. So the thing with Ruto is that he seems not to be able to communicate his own successes. He doesn't know how to own his own successes. And I think that one is the problem I find with Ruto, because I think he has achieved a lot with so little effort. You know, like he has done some magic and the Unga prices have stabilized. We made a lot of noise. We were putting sofrias on top of our heads and so on, but he was able to achieve whatever he was able to achieve to ensure that the Unga prices were stable. The cooking oil prices were, you know, were crazy. Now we get to even the ungangano, you know, and so on and so on. The foodstuffs were very expensive, but he was able to magically stabilize them. So now coming back to, you know, the health, the NHIF, the reformed NHIF, Shisha, and so on. I don't know what name we should give it, but people like to criticize him. I think that having looked at all these documents, I think that this is the best, you know, effort at tackling the problems in the healthcare industry. And you remember when I was trying to be the MP of Nyando, one of the things which I was very passionate about is that people need not to sell their wealth to treat themselves. People need not to sell their pieces of land, their assets, to buy bodies of their dead relatives from mortuaries. They cannot be able to even feed themselves. Why are you telling them to sell their pieces, the last pieces of land, so that they can buy the body of somebody who is already dead, so that they can go and bury? I believe that in a very well-meaning, in a functioning system, the government should be able to pay, you know, the fees, the health cover, which, you know, the normal man cannot be able to pay to the hospitals when somebody is dead. And the Wananchi should not be left to going to buy the bodies of their dead relatives from hospitals or from mortuaries. I believe that is very evil. So when I read this document and I saw that there was a There was a fund for supporting those who are in self-employment, those who are employed like me, and the people who are who are salaried. So those who are there was one for facilities development. I think it's the five funds in one. It's a very good effort at tackling this problem of universal health care. And I believe that if Ruto was given some time, I think he was going to achieve a lot. And I think that I think we should give him time. I think he has achieved a lot already with the food staff and so on. Nobody's when I saw William Ruto's critics on TV now, you don't see them talk about unga and so on, the wananchi stuff. Nobody is talking about the wananchi. Nobody is talking bei ya nyanya. Hakuna mtu anaongea juu ya bei ya ngwashe. Hakuna mtu anaongea juu ya bei ya mchele. Everybody is talking about shisha, PPP, Adani, what? You know, it's like Adani is the thing which is going to make everybody run away from Kenya or is going to solve everybody's problem. Nobody is talking about wananchi. Nobody is talking about bei ya matatu. You know, nobody, you know, everybody is incited by the people who are entitled to the presidency from central Kenya to talk about all these evil things they believe that Ruto has done, but none of them is able to talk about actual wananchi stuff. I think Ruto should be given the credit he deserves on some of these things. I'm not saying that because I want to be his key defender, but just objectively looking at the issues. Please call me and tell me that hapa ndio umeongea, lakini nafikiri kwamba these indicators shows that he's performing very badly. I think Kibaki was overrated because of various reasons. I believe that Kibaki performed better only in sectors which were being managed by Raila aligned ministers, and only when Raila was in government, you know, during the National Rainbow Coalition government and also the Grand Coalition government. So, and then later Uhuru only performed better when he had a handshake with Raila. You know, even the days he had a very quiet, you know, environment to work as a president. He didn't perform. He didn't perform. So give Ruto his due. You know, the credit he deserves. I think you should. The unga prices, amejaribu. Tafadhali.